Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to today's video, and today we're talking about Captain America the First Avenger. This movie's good. I liked it. It has some bad qualities, but it has a lot of good qualities. First, let's talk about the things I don't like about this movie. I don't like Red Skull. He's fucking boring. He's like every action movie's supervillain. He's just evil to be evil. He's just the opposite of the hero, just to be that driving factor for the hero. Another thing I didn't necessarily like about this movie is the action sequences. Although some of them weren't horrible, like the first one was pretty bad. Peggy had like auto aim or some bullshit, but then she couldn't hit the guy when she was really close to him. That shit makes no sense. It kind of looks bad when Captain America was on the hood of the car. It didn't look real. Although I know this was like 10 years ago. Damn, that's a long time now, huh? I would also like to see Steve's transformation more. Like, how did he learn hand-to-hand combat so well? I get that he grew physically and all that, like he's a super soldier, but from what I know, hand-to-hand combat also has a lot to do with your mental. So I want to learn how he learned that, or did it kind of just happen because of the serum? I never really found this to be answered in the movie, and it really leaves me questioning how did this happen, and it kind of takes me out of the movie. It kind of bothers me, but it's fine. It's not something huge. It's something that just irritates me about this movie, because as we see in the beginning of the movie, Steve doesn't know anything about hand-to-hand combat. He got his ass whooped over and over and over, and now he just knows. Another thing that bothers me is that everyone's just an asshole. Everyone's just out for Steve. It's kind of weird because they use this to build him, and I get it, I really do, but it's just weird how everyone's just an asshole to him. Now, it doesn't bother me when it's within reason, but sometimes it's straight up for no reason they're an asshole to Steve. Like the guy outside the movie theater, that was good. Steve was telling him to shut up and he beat Steve's ass, right? But there's other moments, like when they trapped him under barbed wire. What the fuck? That's a little bit intense for no reason. And then when it's little stuff like name calling or saying this shit, that's fine, that's believable. But when it's above that, like I said, the barbed wire, that's just too much. It pulls me out of the movie when things like that happen. I don't know, it could happen in real life. Maybe I just have it wrong, but to me personally, it just kind of pulls me out. Now, let's talk about the things that I did like, because there's a lot of things that I like Steve Rogers. He's amazing. He's an amazing hero because you're able to relate to him so much. He's just a normal guy who happened to turn into a super soldier. He has the heart of a hero. He acts like a hero. Like, for example, that scene where he jumped on the dummy grenade. He's willing to make the sacrifice for other people. He put his life on the line trying to save soldiers that the US Army wasn't going to save. And like he said, he's ready to do this all day. He can do this all day. This is what he was born to do, and nothing's gonna stop him. Like when he signed up for the army multiple times, even though they rejected him, he was determined and he's willing to do it just to be noble. The first half of this movie with Steve Rogers is amazing because he's such a likable guy. He's such a good guy. No matter how many people want to tell him that he's weak, that he's not fit for the army, he does it anyway. And this doctor takes a chance on him, and it pays off hugely. Captain America, Steve Rogers, whatever you want to call him, was really good throughout this movie. Even after the first half, when it goes into all this action and sometimes it's a little bit overboard, he's still really good, and the story with him is still really good, even with the mediocre villain and nonsensical action. I think the story between Steve Rogers and Peggy was also well written, as we see them slowly progress, as Steve is also slowly progressing, and in the end he's willing to sacrifice it all, and it's actually quite sad. I like the addition of Howard Stark in this movie. I could compare it to Black Widow. He was very well written into the story. It's cohesive, it makes sense, and he did really good in this movie. He was entertaining, he brought a lot to the story, he was actually pretty important, but he wasn't downright shoved in your face, which is what made Howard Stark good in this movie. I want to talk about the first half of this film when he was not Captain America, he was just Steve Rogers. I like how slowly and gradually it happened. We spent a good amount of time with him when he was Steve Rogers and not Captain America, And I liked how interpersonal it was. I felt connected to Steve Rogers, and I felt bad when he would get rejected by the army. This is because I was going on the journey with him, and it was so well done. Even though it takes a little bit of a downhill towards the other half and goes towards the action route, it's still on display in the second half as well. Like, for example, when he makes the sacrifice and he thinks he's gonna die, he's gonna leave everything behind just to save the not just to save the United States, because it's a whole fucking country, but you know what I'm trying to say. But I think those are the main points I wanted to go across. It's a good movie held down by little things and a bad villain and too much gratuitous, unnecessary action, and kind of takes a dip in the interpersonality of Steve Rogers during the second half of the movie, but it's good nevertheless. So let's give this movie a score. I'm gonna have to give Captain America: The First Avenger a score of 7 out of 10. But yeah, good movie. What do you guys think about the movie? Let me know down below. That's pretty much it for me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Late.